chapter 3, verses 15 to 25. Devam prabhaktisam chakram nanuvartajati gayaha advayudindriyaramaha moham parthasajeevati yasmatmarati vedasyat atmavrittasya manavaha atmanyeva cha santushtaha tasya karyam na vidyate naiva tasya krite nataha na krite neha kasyana na chasya sarvabhuteshu kaschidattavyapaashrayah tasmadasaktasagatam karyam karma samachara asakto yasadam karma paramapnoti purushah karmanaiva hi samsiddhim astita janakadayah lokasangrahamevapi sampashyan kartumarhasi yadyadacharati shrestah तत्तदेवेतरो जनः स यत्प्रमाणं कुरुते लोकस्तदनुवर्तते न मे पार्थासि कर्तव्यं त्रिषु लोकेषु किञ्चन नानवाक्यमवाप्तव्यं वर्त एव च कर्मणि यदि ह्यहं न वर्तेयम् जातु कर्मण्यतन्द्रितः मम वर्त्मानुवर्तन्ते मनुष्या पार्थ सर्वशः उत्सीदेयुरिमे लोकाः न कुर्यां कर्म चेदहं संकरस्य च कर्ता स्याम् उपहन्यामि मा प्रजाः सक्ता कर्मण्य विद्वांसः यथा कुर्वन्ति भारत कुर्यात् विद्वांसः सक्तः चिकीर्षु लोकसङ्ग्रहम्.
Topic 3, emotional appeal to action. Six verses from 20 to 24, 5 verses actually. He is going to talk about the emotional appeal for action. As I said last week, some basic understanding of emotion is required. The very nature of emotion is required. The very understanding about emotion is required, so that you can understand the emotional appeals in a much better way. First thing about an emotion, the very definition of emotion. Emotion comes from the root word motion, change. That which constantly changes is emotion. That's where in the intellectual appeal he said only one thing. He never tried away, even though he was giving logic and reason. In the intellectual appeal he was only talking about one thing: do yajna karma. He was not giving very many pointers. When it comes to emotional appeal, he is using a variety of emotions. For emotions by nature is change. The English word emotion comes from the root word motion. Motion means change. You can't have the same emotion. It keeps changing. The moment you are stuck at one, it has become an intellect. It has become a consistency. It has become gratitude. Emotions by nature keeps changing. It has to change. Imagine a person laughing all the time. Say something wrong. Imagine a man crying also all the time. Again, it has to. Emotion by nature keeps changing. The very nature of emotion keeps changing because the root of emotion is vasana, desire, the likes and dislikes. Since the likes and dislikes keeps changing, according to the changing likes and dislikes, corresponding emotions also keep changing. In the chronology, in the sense of emotion, he says the root of emotion is likes and dislikes. And what this changing emotion does is, it makes a person unreliable. A simple example. You will have a good relationship with an emotional person, but you will never give that person any responsibility, no? Why? Because it is totally unreliable. Emotions have a fundamental. Emotions has something fundamentally dangerous in it. What is it? It keeps changing. And every change disturbs and affects. Every change affects. Every change disturbs. For it is the intellect that has to transcend the change. It is the intellect that has to understand and rise above the changes. Rise above the emotion. In a matter of 5 verses, he is going to use 6 emotions. Emotional. For an emotional person, you can't give a consistent explanation for an hour and a half. He will fall off to sleep only. You have to quickly cater to that. Emotion. That's where anything that has a quick variation, anything that has a quick variety, you will find it very appealing. It appeals a lot. To what it appeals? It appeals to the emotion, the mind, because it is changing and it is going that speed. Logic and reason and taking one thought and developing a huge, making a huge canvas about it, and then coming to a conclusion saying, therefore, do yajna karma. The first verse you have said, why you go, why are you? Why are you beating around the same thing? You follow? It makes emotion, makes a person inconsistent because of the very nature of emotion is that. What about positive emotions, sir? Love. All positive emotions are emotions well directed, controlled by the intellect. When the emotions are directed, controlled by the intellect, only it turns positive. Per se, it cannot turn positive. Per se, the emotion cannot turn positive. It will turn positive only when it is guided by knowledge and understanding. Only when it is directed through knowledge and understanding, it turns positive. Therefore, an intellectual appeal for action. Emotion has an element of impulsiveness in it always. That's the danger in that emotion. Every emotion has an element of impulsiveness to it. Just summarizing what I dealt in detail last week. This other lecture illa, inni vera lecture pa. I have to warm up, no, adunalla. emotion has something always an impulsive character to it. The same emotion, if it is well thought of, it loses the impulsive character. But emotion per se has something impulsive to it. Most of the time, it is the impulse that drives. It is the impulse that drives the action. It is the impulse that drives the choices. Reason is tiring. Reason fatigues. Impulse acts like an instant boost, instant energy to action. That's why they say, first we will do. Allam pinadi. All that we will say later. No. Do. Emotion has something. The characteristic feature of emotion is it has something which is very impulsive by nature. It is impulsive. Impulsive means something outside triggers a reaction in you and you cannot control it. You will not be able to stop it. This is what is known as impulse. A person makes a remark and you will not know how to. When you do not know how to handle that, it instantly creates a reaction. And that reaction happens at such a speed that after the response, which is the action, is over, then only you know that you even reacted like that. You follow? Impulse has a speed to it. And that speed is so dangerous. And that speed is so very difficult is to understand the difference between wisdom is also instant. Impulse is also instant. All the impulse looks like wisdom. It is so. That's where the distinguishing factor is very difficult. Again, I repeat: wisdom also is. Wisdom is not impulsive. Wisdom is instant. See, you understand, you quickly react, and you keep. Impulse is also. Impulse also acts instantly. All the impulses are seen as wisdom. That is why at that point of time when a person is impulsive, whatsoever you talk, whatsoever you say will not appeal, will not work. You follow? The definition, the characteristic feature of emotion is it is impulsive by nature. 3. Emotion needs the other. Wisdom doesn't need the other. Emotion is in need of. Emotion creates the need for the other. Wisdom is self-sufficient. Wisdom is all by itself. It may be interacting with the others. It may be reacting. It may be relating with others. The need is not created. Emotion creates the need. You understand this, you understand how emotion makes you dependent all the time. Emotions keeps you dependent all the time because emotion has the need for the other. Need for other means Emotion is a flow. You need someone to receive it, no? If there is no being to receive it, if there is no human being to receive it, you will find that animals, pets. Yeah, pets. That's what is known as pet. It needs the other. But pets are also too much, na? Dolls. Yes, dolls are okay. Divine doll, na God. But nevertheless, emotion is always in need of the other. And this need makes you dependent. Where there is a mutual dependency, they say, we have a perfect understanding. Now what does it mean? Mutually dependent upon? Yeah, this person is dependent on this and that person is dependent upon something else. There is a very good transaction going on. You follow? Understand it like this. It's very simple. Understanding means you expect an agreement, no? Someone says, I understand you. It means what? The child comes and asks for something. You tell the child, I fully understand, but I will not permit. The child will turn back and say, what kind of understanding is that? You follow? Understanding implies an agreement. Are you able to follow? Who will agree? One child will agree with another child. One gambler will agree with another gambler. One drunken man will agree with another. The higher will never be an agreement. That's why the emotion will never flow towards the higher. It's very difficult. That's why so much of knowledge and tapas is required to direct the emotion towards the higher. Because the higher is never going to be in agreement. Who agrees? Who will be in agreement? I have given this example before also. When one child has a problem, it will go to the teachers will not be visible. The parents at home will not be visible. Who it will discuss with? Another child only, no? That's why they come and say, I discussed it with my friends. And who is that friend? As ignorant as ignorant. That's why they say, I discussed it with my friends. Now you feel like giving one slap to your child and 2 slaps to the friend who guided. Emotion creates the need for the other at the same level. Towards the higher, very difficult is to flow the emotion towards the higher. Because emotion fundamentally needs of the other, needs a reciprocation, needs a flow. You follow? When there is no flow, you have to imagine a character and imagine that you will imagine a character and emotion will flow through that imaginary character towards you and you will pour all your emotions towards. You follow? Philosophically speaking, emotional are dual by character. As a layman terms, I said, emotion creates a need for the. Are you able to follow? Emotions are dualistic by nature. Dualistic means you need the other. For what? You need the other for what? To pour your emotion, to be in agreement with you, and that agreement is seen as that person is very loving, very affectionate, very understanding. Always remember, If someone is agreeing with you, don't trust that person. That's why I keep agreeing with everybody. Yeah, correct. Correct. If someone is agreeing, at the same, a child, who will agree with the child? Another child only. Who will agree with the old man? Another old man only, no? They sit and ella naasma pochi, ella inna pordo terilla. Who will agree with another person? At the same level only. Evolution happens when you step up to the higher level. Evolution means you are willing to make an effort to step up to the higher level. And if you have to step up to that higher level, a different understanding about emotion is required. A different feeling about emotion is required. You follow? A different understanding about emotion is required. Emotions at A level doesn't require an effort. That's why they say it just happens, no? Fourth point. They say emotions just happens. Ask this question to yourself. You see someone and does immediately gratitude starts flowing? What happens at first sight? They say no. What happens at first sight? What happens at first sight? Vara. Fall happens at first sight. What happens at first sight? Anything impulse. It is impulsive by nature. Does gratitude happen at first sight? Does trust develop at first sight? Even if the person sits and serves for 40-50 years, also trust doesn't happen. Gratitude doesn't happen. You follow? It takes a long time for what people call as positive emotions. Is it very loud or echo? ஒரு செகண்ட் கழிச்சு நான் பேசுறது எனக்கு கேட்குறது. இஸ் இட் ஓகே? கொஞ்சம் சவுண்ட் யாரா கான்ஸ்டண்டா ரிப்ளை கொடுத்துனே இருக்கிறாங்க. இமோஷன் is dualistic by nature. The fourth one, emotion, all the positive emotions, does it happen at first sight? It's natural to get angry. Do you need any effort to get angry? Do you need any effort to become jealousy? Do you need any effort to get greedy? But how much of effort is required to develop? How much of effort is required to develop gratitude? You follow what I am saying? Emotions by nature is instant, impulse. Lot of misunderstanding about this emotions makes us not know how to handle the emotion. Lot of misunderstanding about emotion. An emotional person will carry tremendous expectations all the time. A person of knowledge and understanding will not have expectation. If you are not having knowledge and wisdom, it means you are emotional. That's all. and the vast majority is emotional only. Since the vast majority being emotional by nature, that has become the standard. Knowledge and wisdom looks like indifference. Knowledge and wisdom looks like a wise man looks wise man always looks indifferent. Emotional person is very attractive, because you can do something. Understand this. Someone is being affectionate to you. Someone is constantly quarreling with you. Something you can do with both, no? Something you can do with both. The third state, where the person says, I understand your emotions, and that's how it will be now. What you can relate with that person? Are you able to follow? Very difficult is to know how to deal with the fabric of emotion. It creates the need for the other, and it is impulsive by nature. Emotion is that which doesn't wait. It happens instantly. Instantly, if you are made to react, there is an attraction. A movie that caters to all the emotions, what they call as, there are movies, most of the movies are like that, caters to all the emotions. What are all the emotions? An affection, a tragedy, somebody stabbing somebody at the back, somebody making a sacrifice. When all kinds of emotions are catered to, it is always very attractive. Boring, sir. ஒரு பாயிண்ட் எடுத்து விட்டு 2.5 மணி நேரம் லெக்சர் கொடுத்தாங்க. Who wants to watch that? Who wants to watch that movie? You follow? The higher emotions don't happen instantly. Always ask this question. They say love happens at first sight. No. Does gratitude happen at first sight? I saw someone and immediately started feeling grateful. Does it ever happen like that? If it is happening now, then it is not gratitude. You are imagining. Last feature of emotion is this. Emotions lets you hallucinate. Emotions makes you hallucinate. Imagine. And you can imagine anything. There is no, in imagination there is no logic and reason. You can imagine anything. That's why I gave the two examples last week. One is the Jewish scientist. He was in the Holocaust. During the time of Holocaust, he was put in solitary confinement. Do you know solitary confinement? No. Where there is no one to interact with, you go. Food is given to you. Food will be given, water will be given, you will not be starved. But no one you will get to see. What will happen? No one you will get to meet, no one you will get to talk. Very soon you will go. What is mad? How do you go mad? Very soon you will start imagining a few characters and start talking to them and start relating to them, and they will also start I'm talking to you, na. Madness is this man, scientist. They said, make him mad. That's the right. That's the best thing to do to a scientist. So he was put in solitary confinement. In the cell where he was locked up, a small crack, a very small crack, and a lizard started coming through that crack into the room. He writes his experience after he escapes and goes to America, and then he writes about his experiences. Fascinating portion. He says, under normal circumstances, I can't stand the lizard. We all have lizards at home, no? Can you stand that? So irritating, so scary also. And he says, under normal circumstances, I can't stand that lizard. Now, that lizard is a welcome guest. He says, by and by I started waiting for the lizard to come. And the lizard started coming. His mind said, God, recognizing my loneliness, sent one lizard. Mind can imagine anything. This is our mind. This is our mind imagines. After a while, he started having a conversation with the lizard. He started asking questions to the lizard. After some time, he says, I lost track of time. So I really don't know, weeks or days or months, I really don't know. I started talking to the lizard. After a while, whatever questions I started asking, the lizard started replying to that. God replies, no? Like this lizard replying, he says. The lizard started replying. Then he realized, whenever the lizard gives an answer back, he knows, he writes, that I knew that I am losing it. Because for no lizard answers. Vishnu avatar eduthu vanda kuda lizard will not reply. So to check my sanity, every day I will ask a question to the lizard. If the lizard doesn't reply, I know I am safe. If the lizard replies, I started working on myself, telling myself that I am losing it. The nature of emotion is such that it hallucinates. The tragedy with imagination is, for that person who is hallucinating, only to him it will appear real, while everyone else around will say it is not there. But that person, he will turn back and say, if you experience, you will know. Ramakrishna was experiencing Kali. Totapuri came and said, this Kali is your hallucination. There is no Kali like this. She is your imagination. She is your hallucination. Ramakrishna says, sometimes I also get the doubt. Because only I am seeing and no one else is seeing. That itself is a proof of hallucination, no? If only you see and no one else around is seeing, now maybe you are. நான் மட்டும் தான் சார் பார்த்தேன். நீங்க ஹைட்டா அந்த ஸ்டேஜில் உட்கார்ந்துருக்கும் போது பக்கத்திலே 2 பேர் உட்கார்ந்துருந்தாங்க. யார் கண்ணுக்கும் தெரியல, ஆனா எனக்கு மட்டும்தான் தெரிஞ்சது. கண்டிப்பா உங்களுக்கும் தெரிஞ்சிருக்கும்ல சார், ஏன்னா உங்க பக்கத்துல தானே இருந்தாங்க. அது அப்படிலாம் இருந்தாங்கன்னா டோன்ட் கம். இல்ல நீங்களும் டோன்ட் டெல் மீ, அட்லீஸ்ட் ஆஃப்டர் தட் ஐ கான்ட் சிட். நோ, The nature of imagination is such that a person who is imagining, to him or her alone it will be real. Gods can't come and convince. Gods can't come and change. Ramakrishna was seeing Kali like that. And his Kali is not ordinary. Yeah? Ramakrishna says, you know how difficult it is to bring that emotion towards the deity. Hard work, tapas. Brick by brick by brick I built that devotion. It's not easy. How many doubts will come, how many uncertainties comes. I battled with all that and I built up that devotion to her. And someone says, Jai Kali na, she starts, she comes in front and we both have a conversation. Totapuri said, Sunday class Mari Janma we will not be doing all this. One chance I will give you. You follow my instruction, I will help you to get out of this hallucination. For this hallucination is blocking him from moksha. Just as everyone has a hallucination and that hallucination is preventing them from attaining liberation. What is the hallucination of Ramakrishna? Goddess herself. Dual. That's why emotion is always dualistic by nature. Kali was there. Ramakrishna Totapuri said, I will say Jai Kali. The moment I say Jai Kali, you will go into a trance and Kali will start smiling at you. Both will laugh at each other. At that point of time, with a glass piece, I will cut you. I will cut you with this glass piece. And that is the indication that I am giving you. That you have to sever Kali's head. Ramakrishna said, okay, I will do that. He said, Jai Kali. And when an ignorant man says Jai Kali, Ramakrishna goes into a trance. When a wise man says, how much more intense it will be. He said that and he went into a trance. He took the glass piece and made a mark on his forehead. Ramakrishna came out of the trance, crying. I can't cut her. I can't sever her head. Totapuri said, why? You don't know how beautiful she is. You don't know how wonderful she is. You don't know the innocent smile that she has. And she is smiling at me. How can I cut her? Totapuri said, okay, you be with her. I am going. Ramakrishna held his feet and said, please don't go. For if you leave me, I have no other chance. Help me out. He said, okay. Again Jai Kali. Again Ramakrishna came out of the trance crying. Totapuri asked, what happened? Where is the sword? I have to cut her head, then I need a sword. No, where is the sword? Totapuri said, Kali has sword. No, take her sword and sever her head. And Totapuri said, this is the last chance. If not, I am leaving. And he meant it. And Ramakrishna knew that he meant it. He said, Jai Kali. He took the sword from Kali and severed her. Whose head? Kali's head. Story is he attained moksha. He attained moksha, liberation. Nature of emotion is such that it creates It creates an hallucination. What is a hallucination? Suddenly you feel someone known to you, close to you, calling you, no? And you call them, did you call me, no? When did I? The mind? When emotions turn intense, you will start imagining. Imagination is a very poor word. That's why I am using a slightly harsher word. It is hallucination. Wisdom says, manage your emotions. If you are managing your emotions, handling your emotions, you are handling your emotions means what are you handling actually? Managing emotions, handling emotion means handling hallucinations, imaginations. Less you hallucinate, less you imagine, chances of you becoming wise is higher. For hallucination keeps you in that. You follow? It is easy to excite a person and drive him to do an action. You know that? You can emotionally excite a person and drive that person into action. That's what they do. Most of these inspirational talks, motivational talks, what do? They pump you with emotions, and suddenly so much of inspiration. Third day, fifth day, what happens? 2 steps down. At least existing level kuda povadu. It will go 2 steps down. It will go 2 steps down. Krishna is not exciting Arjuna into action. 650 verses of knowledge. It takes a very long time to give knowledge. You can excite a person emotionally very soon. How to excite a person emotionally? Simple example. Tell that person that you are indispensable. He can quickly get into action, no? If you want someone to do, make up 99%, it's a very cheap technique, but it works all the time. You tell that person that you are indispensable. Ungla utta only you I can trust, only you, only and no one. It immediately boosts you up. What is the boost there? What is boosted there? You are so important. A wise man will say, I have my obligations, I have my responsibilities, but I am not indispensable. Are you able to follow the difference? You can excite a person emotionally and make that person do an action. That is very easy. But to convince through knowledge and understanding takes janmas. And the tragedy is that's the only you follow? Even here, so much of discussion about emotion is happening through knowledge, no? Even here, even now when we are sitting and discussing about emotion, we are not getting emotional. We are not sitting and crying with when a person has to be immediately brought into action, emotion helps. You can't wait for knowledge and wisdom to dawn. You have to make that person do something immediately, instantly. Emotion helps. You follow? Take a simple example. Laughter, humor is an emotion, no? What it does? What laughter does? What humor does? When the analysis is going so serious, after a point, everyone is looking, not knowing what is happening. Immediately he brings a joke, no? Some joke, some story. For what? Energizes. Makes you forget. Humor makes you forget. What? That's why it is so emotional. You follow? 10-15 minutes of serious analysis is so tiring. A casual remark, a word, a joke makes you forget. Forget the tiredness of 15 minutes of. When you forget that, knowledge is also forgotten. What else to do? Both are forgotten. Tiredness mattum forget avadu. Along with the tiredness, when you forget the tiredness, what will go along with it? Knowledge also goes. Humor, when you temporarily forget. Why you are not able to consciously keep the focus going? Why are you not able to keep the concentration going? Fatigue comes because of what? It is not the concentration that is tiring. Don't say concentration tires. If concentration is tiring, you have to perfectly agree with the child. When the child says, I can't concentrate in my studies, you have to perfectly agree and say, very good, get up. Don't? Will you agree? Concentration doesn't tire. What is fatigue? What causes fatigue? The mind wants to run in all directions and you are bringing it back. And you are bringing it back. And you are bringing it back. It is very tired. You follow? What to do when you are tired? Give some energy. Boost. What is the boost? Some story. Yeah, some story. Some joke gives a boost. Again start. All over. Again start. All over. 16 verses of intellectual appeal. Arjuna has started to show signs of fatigue. So immediately what he does, he brings in emotions. It distracts you. Emotion distracts. Knowledge fatigues. Knowledge tires you out. Why knowledge fatigues? Again I give an example, it became easy. If another person is the subject of discussion, it is very interesting, no? If another person is the subject of discussion, does that discussion get boring? You can You can sit and talk and talk and talk for hours together, days together, months together also sometimes. I know years together also people keep talking. When the subject matter is you, it tires you very fast. Are you able to understand the difference? It's not the knowledge that is tiring, the subject matter. If the other is the subject matter, is Rama right in sending Sita to forest? Even today people can debate, no? 5,000 years later also people can sit and debate. Knowledge is tiring, knowledge fatigues, because the subject matter is you. Emotion says, don't look inside, look outside. That's why it creates a need for the other, and it always flows towards the other. Emotion creates a need for the other because emotion says, look, go outside, never look inside. You follow? Concentration doesn't fatigue. In fact, concentration is the most relaxing thing. Concentration never fatigues. What fatigues is the mind wants to run. The mind wants to run all over the place, and that is not given a that is not given a free hand. It fatigues. It tires. You follow? To that person what to do? Cater to that emotion. அப்பாடா இப்போதான் சார் கரெக்டா இந்த ஒரு பாயிண்ட் தான் கரெக்டா யூ செட். இட் மீன்ஸ் சம்திங் ஆஃப் யுவர் இமோஷன் இஸ் catered to. Something of your emotion is catered to. Krishna brings in an emotional appeal because of having understood Arjuna's fatigue. Fatigue is caused by whenever you are the subject matter, it will cause fatigue to you. When the other is the subject matter, it's interesting. Gossip is interesting, but we don't gossip, we only analyze, no? All the debates, no? 5 fellows will sit and discuss in the news channels, have you seen? All 5 will be talking at the same time. The moderator is talking, this fellow is talking, all 5 are talking, and what an interest that is. From one channel to other channel the fellow keeps shifting. What is the interest there? Supposing if there are 5 people, you are the subject matter, and that 5 is analyzing you, now what will happen? How dare you talk about? You don't have any other, that Vedanta is correct, sir. People gossip. Why? Somebody spoke about? You get fatigued, you get tired. Nature of emotions is to imagine, hallucinate. The tragedy of hallucination is, except you, no one believes in it, no one sees it. That's why hallucination and lies are very similar. When someone is lying, look at that man, with what a conviction he lies. You know that person is lying. You feel like laughing only. But what a conviction that man, with what conviction that man utters the lie. He believes that he is speaking the truth. The moment he knows that he is lying now, then he will not have a problem. Are you able to follow? What makes a person to lie with conviction? Will you believe in that? If you have some wisdom, some penetrating capacity, you know. But look at that person. He talks with such Where does it come from? His mind has projected it, and only he believes in it. No one else believes in it. In fact, everyone else says, that man thought I believed. I also pretended as though but I knew it was that person talks with that conviction, no? That's the nature of hallucination. That's the nature of that's the emotion. These are all the negative side of emotion. There is a positive side also to it. The positive side of it is, it gives a temporary boost. Whenever you are lazy, lethargic, knowledge will not wake you up. It is very difficult for knowledge to wake you up. What will wake you up is the emotion. It quickly energizes you into action. To that extent, to a tamasic person, make him rajasic, make him turn emotional. We are assuming that we are talking to if we are talking to tamasic person, you know how the talk will be, no? We come, how are you? 1 week I didn't see you. I missed you. Hope you also missed me. ஒரு வாட்டி கூட ஞாபகம் வரலையா? இல்ல வந்தாலே நைட் மேரா இருக்குது. Doesn't matter, but at least this is how emotions interact. We don't interact like that, no. It means the assumption is from tamas we have moved to and the assumption la dhaan pesana irukku vendra. It is that assumption. Emotions gives a temporary boost, but the law of life is anything instant, it disappears as fast as it appears. That's why he talks about conviction, he talks about consistency, which are all the features of the intellect. He talks about consistency, he talks about a conviction. You follow? To the tired Arjuna, he speaks, he entertains various emotions. Some knowledge is given, some emotions are given. The assumption is Arjuna is ready to receive the right knowledge. What is the right knowledge? The technique of right action, which is the fourth topic. It's a preparation to the technique of right action. So, he is intellectually understood, he is emotionally also, he is ready. To an intellectual person, this emotional appeal will not make any difference. Just as in the verse that we are going to read now, he says, like Janaka and others acted. Intellectual person will say, if Janaka acted, that is his problem. Why should I do? I did no. Why can't you do? If you do now, that is I like it, therefore you have it. Are you able to follow? It's an emotion. If you like it, na? Yeah. Badri, for 55 years, didn't know that there is a thing called Nartanga existing. He didn't know that. Poor fellow. He didn't know that there is the thing called Nartanga, you know, no? Just dried lemon, no? Maybe a bigger verse. He didn't know. One affectionate person gave it to him. It got stuck here. It didn't go inside, it didn't come out. Why it is given? I like it. Therefore, you, intellectual person will say, if you like it, the intellectual person will say, if you like it, correct, no? You have it. Why should I have? But it works. But it really works. Works to whom? To whom it works? To whom it works? To a person who's already emotional. You follow? To an emotional person it will work. If you want to buy something, you should ask what you like, no? எனக்கு ரொம்ப பிடிச்சது அதனால உங்களுக்கு வாங்கி வந்தேன்னா what does it mean? The intellectual person will say you keep it. Emotional person will say, oh, what the? அங்க போனா கூட they thought about me. They didn't think about you. They thought about their likes and dislikes. Incidentally you happen to cross. அவ்வளவுதான். You follow what I am saying? The difference between emotional appeal and intellectual appeal. What is the difference between an emotional appeal and an intellectual appeal? All these 6 emotions, we will interpret it in both ways. We will try to understand that emotion through the knowledge, and we will try to understand that emotion in the emotional way also. Both we will do. Then you will understand the difference. You follow? First number 20 padi.
Apita janakadayaka loka sangrahane vasi sampashyanka tumarasi karmanai kahitam siddhim apita janakadayaka loka sangrahane vasi sampashyanka tumarasi.
Verily, by action alone, Janaka and others attained perfection. Even with an eye to the welfare of the world also, you should perform action. 2 emotions he is using. One emotion is persuasion. Another emotion is devotion. Devotion means quoting a very... Devotion means you refer to a very high personality and say, avanga ellam pandranga, what is your problem? You follow? Who will motivate you? The reference always has to be made to someone who you look up to. In those days, Janaka was looked up to. If you want to know what Vedanta is, what renunciation is, you can know it through Janaka better than a Shankaracharya or a Buddha. Not that they are teaching something wrong, but the way Janaka expresses, the way that Janaka lives and taught. As a student, Janaka teaches something. As a teacher also, Janaka teaches you something. That generation had a very high regard for Janaka. Therefore, Krishna is using that. Verily, by action alone, Janaka and others attained perfection. It means what? Arjuna. Enna kashtam vandalum Janaka didn't leave action, no? Similarly, you also see that person, see this person, with what difficulty? No amount of difficulty stopped. Some story about. Now in those days, story of Janaka is already known to them. Therefore, the very name of Janaka is enough. Today's name of Janaka will not. Yeah, today name of Janaka will not impress that much. Apple CEO. What is his name? Not the current one. Steve Jobs. Correct. Steve Jobs. Even when he was in his last few days, also he was active, doing his work. If at that level, if he is doing his work, what is your problem that you can't do it? Now, it's an emotional appeal. Are you able to follow? He uses the emotion, devotion. Janaka and others. He uses Janaka and others. And who are the others? A partial list. Who are the others? Ikshvaku. Those are the list. And all these, some of the names we will not even know. Ashwapati, Ikshvaku, Prahlada, Ambarisha. Prahlada was the story, you know. Ikshvaku at least you know, because he belongs to the Ikshvaku Kula, Ikshvaku Vamsa. Rama belongs to that Ikshvaku. Prahlada story you know. Ikshvaku at least some connection, even though you do not know anything about Ikshvaku. Rama's great grandfather. Correct. Great personalities who kept to, who was doing action. What action? What kind of action? Yajna karma. Yajna karma. Prahlada was doing yajna karma. Ikshvaku was doing yajna karma. Ambarisha. In the Bhagavata, it talks about Vyasa, Ambarisha, they say. A very great. Now, I am not going into the stories of all these people. Parola sir, the story solunga sir, nalla irno. Ungoda emotional discussion about the story nalla irukudhu. What is the story behind Ashwapati? Great personalities. These great masters, Arjuna looks up to them. Arjuna has a value to them. If someone whom you value does it, automatically there is a tendency to follow it. Correct? What we call that as? Someone does it and you follow that. Now what is it called? Under other circumstances. Herd instinct. Intellectual approval will say Janaka does, Ashwapati does, Ikshvaku does, Prahlada does, Ambarisha does. So what? Why should I do? Intellectual appeal. The intellectual way of looking at the emotional person gets excited about these characters, these personalities. Please understand, it's not an inferior state. The way that it is being discussed for so long, don't go back thinking it is an inferior state. Some inspiration comes from these characters. He is encouraging him to follow their footsteps. First emotion, like Janaka and others. Second emotion is persuasion. What is the persuasion? You are a good man, no Arjuna. You have some affection for the masses, no. You have some empathy for the others, no. Arjuna can't say. That's how he is caught. That's how your own emotion traps you. You have some value, you really want to do something good, no to others at least. Arjuna will not say. His emotion can't say no. Therefore, Arjuna has to necessarily say, even with an eye to the welfare of the world, Loka Sangraha Mevapi. Loka Sangraha means welfare of the world. Intellectual person, a man with intellectual understanding says, you help yourself and that's it. What you can do to help the other. You make yourself. What is helping the other? What is welfare of the world? When they asked Ramatirtha, have you come to reform the world? Have you come to help the world? Ramatirtha said, reforming the world is like straightening the dog's tail. What reformation about the others? You reform yourself and just be done with it. But for an emotional person, this will appeal. Do yajna karma, your vasanas will get reduced, likes and dislikes will get exhausted, you will attain moksha. Emotional person will say, இதெல்லாம் நான் கேட்கவே இல்லையே. First of all that I have come here for is what? Some knowledge I will gain and go back and handle my problems. I am coming. I am not interested in moksha and liberation. I am not interested. Emotional appeal. What is that emotional appeal? Two emotions. The first emotion is devotion. Parents try this and miserably fail. No. I am doing it. Why can't you do? They tell the children. No. The child will turn back and say, if you do it, it is your problem. Why should I do? Correct? Why it doesn't work here? Because the child doesn't look up to. For devotion to work, you have to look up to. The child is affectionate to the parent, but it doesn't. There is a difference between the two. The child is very affectionate. The child is very loving. Just as the partners are affectionate to each other, but they don't look up to each other. Now, when you don't look up to, you can never follow. When you don't look up to, you can never follow instructions. If you are able to follow instruction, means you have to look up to. And who Arjuna looked up to? Janaka and others. These masters are perfect examples of Karma Yoga. These masters are perfect examples of Karma Yoga. Ashtavakra told Janaka, after teaching the whole thing, Janaka said, I want to pursue, I want to follow you. Where do you get a master like Ashtavakra? And when you get a master like Ashtavakra, you will want to be with him. No, you will want to follow him. You will want to be with him. Ashtavakra said, why do you? I have my path, you have your path. I go on my path, you go on your path. What is your path? What is your expertise? To rule. Go on rule. You go on rule, I go on do what? Perfect example of Karma Yoga. And Janaka went back and ruled the kingdom with detachment. Ruled the kingdom means performing actions with detachment. See, Prahlada, you know only that story of Prahlada, no? Him praying and Narsimha coming and killing the father. After that, Prahlada goes where? Huh? He rules the kingdom. And how he rules the kingdom? Perfect detachment. It is that active, that part of Prahlada we don't know. All our Prahlada doesn't grow up beyond 6 years, no? Have you ever seen a grown up Prahlada? You do not know. Yeah, because our Prahlada is permanently 6 years old, correct? Surdas's Krishna never grew up. Surdas's Krishna is permanently 3 years old only. Bhagavad Gita Krishna and all for Surdas, he doesn't even exist. Prahlada, Ikshvaku. Ikshvaku, the first disciple of Vasishtha. The first disciple of the sage Vasishtha. You know that Raghukula, no? Raghuvamsa, Raghukula, that entire lineage. 15-20 kings in that lineage. Guru is only one. You know that? Vasishtha is Guru. From Ikshvaku to Rama. That's where you find in Ramayana, Vasishtha is very old. Because he's been doing the job of Guru from Ikshvaku to Raghu to Trishanku. Trishanku is also part of the same Gula. Then came another, and then came another, and then came Dasaratha, and then comes Rama. Atoda itself. The Kula got over. But Vasishtha still continues. Ikshvaku, the first disciple of Vasishtha, learned what action is directly from Vasishtha. What is learning action from Vasishtha directly? What is it? What action? Selfless action. But unselfish action says, you want to do, that is your problem. Vasishtha says Karma Yoga means selfless action. Is there an action called selfless action? No. It is a selfless attitude that you bring into all the actions that you do. It's not a selfless action, Ikshvaku. It is the selfless attitude that you bring into all that you do. Krishna says, bring in the same selfless attitude and consider this war as yajna and kill them. You will not incur sin. Though killing, you will not incur sin. If you want to understand what action is, that statement is enough. Though killing, you will not incur sin. How can you kill and not incur sin? It's not the action, Arjuna, it is the attitude. Ashwapati is again another king. The beauty of Karma Yoga is, that's where this Ambarisha is one of the Upanishadic masters. You find Ambarisha is a master in Chandogya Upanishad. Ambarisha, the teacher in Chandogya Upanishad, the king tells the student. He says, only kings can understand Vedanta, he says. Only kings can understand what detachment is. He says, and he is telling the assembly, and that assembly of Brahmins. Says, you Brahmins don't know what detachment is. Only the king knows what detachment is. And you see here, all are not ordinary kings, super king, super king. Karma yoga. And it is true. Why? You know, you should be able to afford the price for God. You should be able to afford the price. Who can afford that price? A beggar can't afford that price. A beggar can't afford that. God. Who can afford that price? Only a king. And who is a king? Who is a king? Who is a king? Owns everything but doesn't own anything. You know that, no? That is the king. He owns everything but doesn't own anything. There is an individual owner to the house. There is an individual owner to the company. There is an individual owner to the restaurant. But if the king walks in, you know the royalty, and they took it away. And only after this lady dies, whenever she dies, and she doesn't look like dying only. Whenever she dies, it will end with her, the queen. You know her privilege? She doesn't have a passport. She doesn't need a passport to go to any part of the world. Why? Because at that point of time, the whole world was, Australia was under them, New Zealand was under them, India was under them, Europe is under them, America is under them, Africa is under them. There were individual owners. Who's the king? He owns everything, even though he doesn't own anything in particular. Second thing about the queen is, wherever she goes, she did not pay the bill. She comes to a restaurant and eats. If the Prime Minister eats, government pays the bill. Somebody will pay the bill. For her, it is, you can't say free, because whose it is? Whose it is? It is hers. Owning everything and not owning anything. That kingly state is a prerequisite for detachment. That's why he says, kings understand it better. That's why you find in all these, you will never find a Vasishtha being mentioned. You will never see a Shaunaka being mentioned. You will never see a Angirasa being mentioned. You are finding Ashwapati, Ikshvaku, Prahalada, Ambarisha, Janaka. Who are they? Men of action. Men of action means with the highest responsibility, which is the kingship, they were detached. Are you able to follow? The highest responsibility is to be the king. And what a responsibility it is. How can a man get detached from that? It means what amount of knowledge and wisdom they have. In those days, these men were looked up to by everyone. Not only the kings, everyone looked up to his masters. And Krishna is using this emotion. Second psychological tactic is persuasion. This we do all the time. Persuasion is what we keep doing all the time. நான் பண்றேன்ல Why can't you do? நானே பண்றேன். What is your problem? If I were you, I will do it. Now what does it mean? It is a persuasion. Two emotions in these verses: devotion and persuasion. Few more emotions which we will continue to discuss. The fundamental nature of emotion is that which keeps, and get the background of emotion and see these 5 verses. You will understand what Krishna is trying. Then you will understand what Krishna is trying to do with Arjuna. The same thing that Krishna is trying to do with Arjuna, you have to do it on yourself. Ultimately, that's the purpose. No one is going to come and do all this on yourself. You have to do it by yourself. These are all aids. How you persuade yourself, how you motivate yourself, how you use your own devotion to get into action. These are all the things that you use it upon yourself. 2 emotions: devotion, persuasion. சரியா? Okay.